Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. In this quick tip video, I want to talk about a syndrome that affects many traders out there, including myself when I first got started, shiny object syndrome. And the best way to try to describe this is I'm going to use economic model. If you've watched any of my other quick tip videos, then you've seen me do this before. But for me, it just makes things much clearer to see what you're actually doing to yourself when you let shiny object syndrome start to creep in on you. So first thing I want to start off doing is just drawing the first portion of our model, and that's right here. Down here is going to be high, so I know that may not make sense, but it will. And up here is going to be low. Now, high to low of what? We're going to call this mastery potential. I mean, how well can you master something? Now, of course, I'm going to lead this to trading, but this could be anything. How well are you going to master, playing an instrument, playing a sport? Whatever you are trying to master, we have high, low. That's what this area is measuring. Now, at the same time, we have this portion, and this is known as things to learn. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Lots of things out there that you can learn, especially when you get into the financial markets, as we'll see. Lots of different areas that you could, decide to pursue and learn. So when you decide to pursue and learn something, what are you doing? You're starting a journey. You're going to go on a journey. And that's what this right here represents, our journey. Now we'll take my case as an example. When I first got started, I thought, you know what? I think stocks sounds pretty interesting. So that's what I did. I said, here is my starting point. I want to do stocks. So I started there with stocks. However, the risk for traders is all the options, all the choices that are out there in the financial markets. So what do I mean by that? Well, over here we have options. We have Forex, the trading of currencies. We have futures. We have commodities. Heck, we even have bonds. If you want to become a bond trader, you could get into stuff like that. So as you start on your journey, what you need to be very careful of are all these objects over here. And all these objects are nice and shiny. Oh wait, I can do options, I can leverage. Wait, you can trade commodities, coffee, orange juice. Oh, that's interesting. Currencies, wait, this is open 24 hours, that's interesting. Futures, bonds, all sorts of stuff. It's nice and shiny, it sounds good. So those are our shiny objects. Now let's hop back up here portion of the model, and I want to talk about what I'm going to call personal dilution. So this line right here, personal dilution. Looking at this as your ability to retain information, to process information, to really understand information. Everybody's brain is different, so this curve will be different. But the more you try to overload yourself with, your brain's got more. It's got to be able to comprehend, and it's just got to be able to process that. So that's what this is representing, your personal dilution of yourself. So let's think about this. When we start here, if we just stay on our journey, where are we going on this line? Nowhere. We're not going anywhere. So we're going to stay right here. So when we match that up with this line here, actually, this should be drawn right down here. So when we match that up, if we stay on our path, if we stay just on the straight and narrow, we're going to end up right there. We don't go anywhere over here. So where is our mastery potential? At its highest point. Why? Because we haven't been distracted by any shiny objects. We've said, you know what? I want to learn stocks. I'm going to stay there, stay on the straight and narrow. We keep our mastery point high. Now let's say, and like I said, this happened to me. For me, it was Forex. You decide, I want to try to learn Forex. Actually, options too. So I got really sidetracked. But anyways, the more of things you want to learn, so like I said, for me, it was, there were Forex and options. So now all of a sudden I had more things to learn. So I had stocks, options, Forex that I was trying to wrap my mind around. So that took me, let's just say somewhere right around here. So now let's match this up with our personal dilution curve, and let's bring this over here. Now where are we on our mastery potential? Is it high anymore? No, it's actually gotten significantly lower. Why has that been the case? Because instead of just having our minds need to learn about one thing, now in my case, I was trying to absorb options and Forex. So the more things you learn, keep in mind, how is the personal dilution curve? Further over here you get. So let's say, you know what, I'm a beast, I can do it all. So I want to do commodities, futures, and this. So now you're way over here. So you match that up over here. Now you're basically, your mastery potential is very, very low. Sure, you may learn something about all these. I'm not saying that. But are you going to master anything? Are you going to really become good at it? Probably not. Now there is one exception. Maybe I have the honor of having a genius watch my YouTube video. If that's the case, then there is the genius curve right here. And maybe even that is to some people out there. This is definitely not me. I'm just an average person, so I'm right around this area. But if you're a genius, then yeah, you could come way over here, find a spot. You could be learning everything, and when you match it up over here, you still have very high mastery potential because your mind, you're just a top dog, you are a genius. On the other hand, we have this curve. Let me pick out another color here. And this curve is right here. And a lot of people fall on this curve. This is the non-reality curve. I was thinking about some other terms, but that probably wouldn't be appropriate. So I'm just going to say non-reality curve. These are the people that think, you know what? I don't need to invest in education. I don't need to invest in training. I can do it myself. All that stuff is a scam. Those things are just gimmicks. I'll figure it out on my own. Stock trading is easy. All I have to do is follow other people's hot stock picks. So they're right here, and they're not really going on a journey. So with that being the case, their journey is basically right here. They don't have to veer anywhere around here, and they're already up here at low. So there's just really right here, no potential. These people, I'm just going to write donate. These people should donate their money to a charity. Sure, they may have some success, but they have no commitment to education, commitment to making themselves better. So they have no chance at actually ever mastering anything. They're pretty much screwed before they even get started. So for me, like I said, it was Forex, and here is some hardcore proof of that. I want to learn stocks, all that, and then I was like, hey, Forex. So I bought this book, and just to show you how powerful, the shiny object syndrome is, I want to open this on the back. Nate, can you see this? Okay, right here it says stop. If you break this seal, package is non-refundable. Yeah, as the pack, it has not been broken because before I could even probably get through a quarter of this book, let alone open this CD, I was already on, hey, options, that sounds good. I want to learn about that. So have I mastered Forex? Absolutely not. Do I understand what Forex is? Sure, like I said, if you get way over here, am I saying you can't master, you can't learn about things? Absolutely not. But as far as mastering it, I have no idea. It's one of those things where, yeah, I know Forex, you trade currencies. That's pretty much it. I learned about it, but did I master it? Heck no. Like I said, that CD, that pretty much tells the story right there. So keep that in mind. I'm not against learning things, but if you want to become really good at things, pick something and then go with it. However, there's one thing that I want to point out, and I'll be the first to admit, yeah, I'm biased because this is what I teach, but it's just hear me out. Instead of starting at stocks, consider starting at charts, meaning technical analysis. The reason I say that is if you start at charts, when you go on your journey, all these things have emotions to do with them. All these things have psychology. I mean, they're all traded by humans. All humans have psychology. And that's what charts measure, psychology. So it's not going to teach you about each and every little thing in terms of, well, what is Forex? What is options? What is futures? But it's going to teach you about how the emotion of them work. So charts, if you start there and say, I want to learn charts, and then from there, I'll pick, whatever of these I want to learn about. That could be a little shortcut. it might make your life a little bit easier. So just a suggestion. Again, sure, I'm biased, but when you stop and think about it, all these contain emotion. Charts measure emotion. I think it's a pretty logical strategy to pursue. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you now kind of understand whenever you're starting to pursue something and then you see something else. Don't be like a cat that starts batting at things. Just stay focused, learn to master one thing, and then from there, sure, branch out a little bit, but really, really, really focus on mastering and don't dilute your potential. If you found this video helpful, a few things I want you to do. If you're watching this on YouTube, please click the like button down below. If you're watching this on claytrader.com, please click that share button up above. And wherever you're watching it, please leave your comments below. I love to hear from the community. I love to hear from people that are potentially thinking about joining the community. So by all means, please leave a comment. Remember, don't dilute yourself and trade without emotion.